What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and sometimes people get what they deserve. Now, we followed, obviously, the trial of the century between AH and JD, and when he won, I feel like it was a win for truth in and of itself, and also for men who are on the receiving end of horrible behavior, who face a huge uphill battle and ever clearing their names. Now, there are bad people on like both sides, both can participate, but it's particularly difficult for a man who's on the receiving end of that kind of stuff to get any kind of respect or even sympathy in the media. Well, after his landmark $8.3 million win, some new records unsealed, and news that she is literally selling everything, all of her extra houses and all this kind of stuff, to put together the cash to pay the man his monies. Quick note, we opened up 45 more spots in the Roaster's Choice. I know a lot of people wanted to get in last month, but we maxed out. I'm going to leave a link to it. It's going to fill up probably today if you haven't already. Here's some reviews from last month's drop. You can read them right on the page. People are going absolutely bonkers for the Roaster's Choice. We have a Rwandan, and then we have a Sumatra Osman coming up. This is like ultra small batch, ultra delicious Roaster's Choice. So if you wanted to get in last month, you can get in now, but don't wait. I actually think promo code July is still active too for everybody. So if you feel like you missed the sale, you can grab that today. Unsealed. JD and AH court docs show that she refused to take $16 million from him during the divorce, as she's now forced to sell her desert home to pay him the $8.3 million. Unsealed documents show AH walked away from a divorce payout from JD that could have run tens to millions of dollars, as the financially challenged actress sells her beloved California home. Documents seen by the Daily Beast show that the Aquaman star, 36, ignored guidance from her legal team not to pursue JD for the maximum cash she was entitled to after they filed for divorce in 2016. She could have sought half of JD's $33 million he made filming the fourth installment of the Pirates of the Caribbean, since it was made while they were married. But she chose not to, and wrote them an email saying she was being amazingly true to her word and that this was not about the money. A judge refused to let that evidence be admitted during the defamation suit against her. She was ordered to pay $8.3 million after being found guilty of defamation, but says she does not have enough cash to pay it off. Now, you might say that that's actually a shred of, like, it does fly in the face of gold digging. I mean, you've got to be, like, honest. And, I mean, guess she probably should have taken it. She now has begun raising some of the cash by selling her Yucca Valley home in California for $1.05 million, a profit of about $500,000 for her, according to TMZ. She allegedly bought the house back in 2019 through an anonymous trust tied to the actress. There's speculation about her ability to immediately cover the damages, which includes $10 million in compensatory damages and $350,000 in punitive damages. She will also receive $2 million from JD in a countersuit, leaving her with only $8 million to pay. Now, what's interesting is he's also appealing that. So this decision to appeal, while it could overturn some of the money that she lost, it could actually get worse. Like he could win the appeal on that, at least be not found liable to pay that $2 million. And then she'll have to get it from the other guy who probably doesn't have it. I mean, I guess I don't know. The latter was reduced to $5 million due to Virginia's cap on such awards. Newly unsealed documents suggest that she may have walked away from more than enough to pay up in the divorce. The Daily Beast pointed out that Judge Penny as Carter refused to allow Team AH to submit a conversation she had with her lawyers during the divorce trial. Attorneys for the actress were begging her to pursue what they felt were tens of millions of dollars she was entitled to through Depp's Pirates of the Caribbean profits. They allege that because he made Pirates 5 during their marriage, it was common property and an asset she was entitled to half of. She would not allow them to chase that money, with her lawyer saying via email that she was being true to her word and it wasn't about the cash. The judge refused letting those emails in. Perhaps the spiciest reveal from the documents is that Team JD may have attempted to submit spicy photos of her, as well as her brief work as a dancer. By the way, no shame in that. I mean, get it, I guess, while you can. I suppose. Her legal team argued that those were irrelevant personal matters that they should not be allowed in trial. I would probably agree with that. I mean, just to be fair. She was denied a request for mistrial a week before, arguing that one of the jurors was not who they said they were. It's a mess. She refused $16 million and now has to pay $8 million. Of course, in the more Unsealed, you could see he claims she was a dancer and escorted. I mean, maybe. Maybe. There's reportedly a mention of a reality show that her sister once filmed upon a time, which contained what Team JD seems to have thought were some harmful info about AH, also having to do with her past, but the judge wouldn't let that in. As for Team AH, her lawyers wanted to enter Marilyn Manson texts between him and JD. They felt showed him giving pointers to his pal about how to deal with a AH-type scenario of his own. He was even seeking refuge with JD in 2016 amid relationship problems, as was dealing with some that seemed to be teetering in the legal territory. One text from MM to JD around that time: I got a serious police AH-type scenario with L's family. I'm stressing. I don't know if you're back, but I need some asylum somewhere because I think the cops might be headed my way. This is in reference to someone named Lindsay, who he had pulled something similar to AH and he called her AH 2.0, to which JD responded with acknowledgement and support. So what I guess I don't really know how that plays good for her. It seems like, are you saying that like you got another liar? I mean, I guess that seems like you'd be admitting that you have another liar. You could see these websites, scumbag websites. Go inside her Yucca Valley retreat for more photos. I don't know if I would call it a retreat if it's in the middle of the desert, I suppose, but TMZ got a hold of the new owner of the pad, and he tells us, yes, he'd in fact been dealing with her and her people on the deal, but never herself. With the parcels having changed hands, she walks away with almost double what she paid for it 3 years ago. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You know what's messed up, though, or what's kind of brutal about it is that's a $1 million house you had just quote unquote laying around, and now you still have $7 million left. $7 million left. Now I don't know what kind of bank cash you have, but man, you've got to say like, wow, she originally said, hey, I'm not going to take the 16 million because it's really not about the money, but I'm going to write this article that's going to cost me 8 million more. So that's a swing of $24 million. Now, I guess if she had taken the 16 and still written the article, she'd still only have 8 million, but she certainly wouldn't have to be selling off everything she owns to pay this debt, which I think is hilarious. It's just so it's just so funny that all you had to do was not try to smear this man. All you had to do was just not smear him and you'd be fine. You would have been totally fine. But she simply couldn't do that. She had to, you know, I don't know. This is somebody who's truly, truly made some really bad decisions in their life. I don't think the fact that she may have escorted or danced, that's not really, who cares? I mean, I literally don't care. But what's really interesting is the selling off of all the assets and the boneheaded decision that we see now to not take the 16 million. By the way, entirely entitled to it. It's not like they were married for a week and then she took half of his money. I mean, they were together long enough. She would have been entitled to it. But yet again, she knew better, as always, and it came back to completely bite her in the rear. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you can get in on Roaster's Choice. By the time this video airs, I'm not sure how many spots will be left, but we do obviously still have our July sale. 10% off everything, including subscription sign-up orders. So stock up today. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.